All right, so welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into something pretty fun today. But with a twist, you guys sent in a list of the strongest actors from the top tens. And we're going to go way beyond just muscles here. Like, what
Yeah.
does strength really mean when it comes to acting?
Hmm.
Buckle up, because this list is packed with surprises.
It is.
It might actually change how you see strength, like both on screen and in real life.
Oh, absolutely. I think what's so fascinating about this list is the variety.
Yeah.
We've got these iconic bodybuilders, we've got martial arts legends, comedians. You even have dramatic actors known for just like quiet intensity.
Yeah.
It's really hard to compare their strengths directly. Like, how do you even do that?
Right. And like right at the top, we've got like the usual suspects, right?
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dwayne
Dwes?
The Rock Johnson, Sylvester Stallone. But then, like, there's a super intriguing comment in there
Uh-huh.
that claims Franco Columbu,
Oh, wow.
Schwarzenegger's training partner,
Yeah. Yeah.
was actually stronger pound for pound.
That's where it gets really interesting because these pounds for pound comparisons, they have to take into account body size.
Yeah,
And that just changes the whole game.
right.
Like suddenly someone like Jackie Chan, right?
Yes.
Who's known for his incredible agility, all the crazy stunts he does.
Right.
He enters this conversation about strength, but like in a totally different way.
Oh, totally. And I was reading this comment about how Chan insists on doing almost all of his own stunts.
Oh, yeah.
Even like the super dangerous ones. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
That's dedication right there. Is that like a kind of strength in itself?
Oh, absolutely. Stunt work demands incredible physical control, precision, and like the ability to push your body to the limit. That's not just brute force. We're talking about a mastery of movement and this mental toughness. That's essential in action roles, for sure.
Right. So it's not just about how much you can bench press.
No.
Speaking of which, Lou Ferrigno,
Oh, yeah.
the original Hulk,
The Hulk.
he's high up on this list.
He is.
But here's something I bet you didn't know. He's also done voice work for Adventure Time.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That just highlights another aspect of strength that we tend to overlook, like vocal power and control.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine the breath control, the projection Ferrigno needed to like embody the Hulk's roars?
Yeah.
And then contrast that with the like nuanced delivery that's required for voice acting.
Whoa, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of strength altogether.
It is.
And it makes me think about how actors like Chuck Norris, who's known for, martial arts prowess,
Yeah.
they also need like vocal strength
Oh, for sure.
to deliver those iconic lines.
Norris is such a great example of how martial arts training can really translate to on-screen strength.
Yeah.
He brings this authenticity to fight scenes, but it's also about discipline. It's about focus and just like years of dedicated practice that martial arts demands.
Right.
That shakes an actor's presence even when they're not like throwing punches.
Exactly. And it's not just limited to Hollywood, right?
Right.
This list includes Shah Rukh Khan, who's a huge Bollywood star.
Yeah.
Does that kind of change how we think about like global perceptions of strength in acting?
I think it definitely broadens the conversation.
Yeah.
Bollywood action sequences are often like super elaborate and physically demanding. You need stamina, flexibility, and this unique blend of dance and combat.
Oh, wow.
It's a totally different style than like Hollywood action.
Yeah.
But the underlying dedication to physical performance, it's undeniable.
This is getting really interesting. I'm like starting to see how this strongest actors list is actually like a window into all these different ways strength can show up on screen.
I agree.
And like in their lives too.
Absolutely. We tend to associate strength with muscles, but what we're really seeing here is that it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
It's willpower, resilience, skill, even the power to connect with an audience on like an emotional level.
Okay, now I'm really hooked. Like this list just went from a simple ranking to a deep dive into what makes these actors so captivating.
Exactly.
I love it.
And we're just getting started.
Whew.
There are some names further down this list that will really challenge our assumptions about strength.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm excited. It's kind of interesting, right, how this list jumps around between actors from totally different eras.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we have classic Hollywood icons like Steve Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
Known for, his roles in all those like sword and sandal epics.
Right.
Talk about a throwback to a very specific ideal of strength.
Right. Reeves had that like chiseled physique
Oh, yeah.
that like defined the heroic archetype for like a whole generation.
Totally.
It makes you think about how ideas of like masculinity
Oh, for sure.
and strength have like evolved over time.
Absolutely. And then we have someone like Denzel Washington,
Oh, yeah.
who like brings a completely different kind of strength to his roles.
Yes.
He just commands attention with his presence and intensity, whether he's playing, a historical figure like Malcolm X
Right.
or a flawed antihero.
Denzel just has this aura,
It
that
does.
you always believe he's capable of anything, both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
It's interesting to contrast that with someone like Will Smith,
Yes,
who often brings like a more playful energy to his roles.
he does.
Even in action movies.
Smith's a great example of how, like, charisma and physicality can work together.
Right.
He's totally believable as an action star, but he also brings that humor and that charm, which are like strengths in themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Think about like how he won over audiences in Ellie,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
portraying, a real-life boxing legend that required both like a huge physical transformation and also the ability to capture like Ollie's unique spirit.
Oh, yeah. That was like an incredible performance.
It was.
And speaking of blending physicality with like other strengths, we have Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah. Iron Man.
He's known for his like quick wit as Iron Man.
Yeah,
But he also had to get in shape for those superhero roles.
he did. Downey Jr. is interesting because he like embodies a more modern kind of hero.
Right.
Iron Man is as much about like intellect and technology
Yes.
as it is about like physical strength.
Yeah,
It's a good reminder that strength can be mental as well as physical.
that's a good point. It's not just about like being able to lift heavy things, right? It's about using your strengths, whatever they may be,
Mm-hmm.
to overcome challenges. Which brings us to a name that might surprise some people.
Okay.
Ben Affleck.
Ah, yes.
Affleck's transformation for the Batman role
Yes.
sparked a lot of discussion about like what a superhero physique should look like.
Definitely.
He bulked up, for sure.
Yeah.
But like some people argued that Batman's strength lies more in like strategy
Mhm.
and technology than the brute force.
Right.
So like does Affleck really embody the strongest actor idea?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. But like it's interesting to debate like what kind of strength does Batman represent and
Yeah.
how different actors have like interpreted the role.
Exactly. And that's what's so great about this list. It's not just about ranking these actors. It's about sparking those conversations.
Yes.
About what strength really means.
Yeah.
Even someone like Michael Clark Duncan, who played, the gentle giant John Coffey in The Green Mile,
Oh my gosh, yes.
demonstrated incredible strength, but in a totally different way.
Oh, absolutely. His performance was so powerful,
It was.
even though his character was like physically restrained for a lot of the film.
Mm-hmm.
It was his like quiet dignity,
Yeah.
his compassion,
Mm-hmm.
and his like inner strength that made such an impact.
Right.
Those are qualities we don't always associate with strong characters,
We don't.
but like they're essential in great storytelling.
I agree. And that leads us to another actor whose strength is more subtle,
Okay.
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze.
He had that effortless, like, cool and charisma,
Yes.
but he also brought this vulnerability to his roles that made him so relatable.
Yeah. Think about his iconic roles in like Dirty Dancing and Roadhouse.
I know.
He was tough, but there was also a sensitivity there. It's a different kind of strength than, say, a Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Yeah.
who's all about those like high kicks and splits.
Van Damme's martial arts background definitely, like, influenced his on-screen persona.
Right.
He represents, like a more classic action hero archetype.
Yeah.
But even within that, there's like a nuance to his physicality.
Right.
It's not just a, brute force. It's agility, precision. It's a mastery of his body.
It's like those signature splits he does.
Oh, yeah.
Like that takes incredible flexibility and control,
Yeah.
which are strengths in their own right. And then we have someone like Merlin Olsen, who had like a successful career in football
Wow.
before transitioning to acting.
Yeah.
That's got to take a different kind of strength.
Olsen's journey really highlights, like, the mental and physical demands of transitioning between such different fields.
Totally.
He went from the gridiron to starring in shows like Little House on the Prairie and Father Murphy.
Right.
That adaptability and, like, willingness to embrace new challenges, that's a form of strength we don't often talk about.
It's like he had to reinvent himself,
He did.
relying on like different skills and strength. Speaking of reinvention, Jaden Smith
Oh, yeah.
started acting as a child, right?
Mm,
And has continued to like evolve his career. He
yeah.
brings like this youthful energy to his
He
roles, but
does.
he's also like a trained martial artist,
Right?
which adds another layer to his on-screen persona.
Smith represents, like this new generation of actors who are blending genres and like challenging those traditional notions of what an action star can be,
Right.
you know. And it's exciting to see how he'll continue to like push boundaries and redefine strength in his own way.
This list has like really blown my mind. I came in thinking we'd just be talking about like muscles and fight scenes,
Right?
but we've gone so much deeper than that. It's
Yeah.
like strength is this multifaceted thing that can like show up in so many different ways.
You nailed it. We've explored how strength can be physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual. It's about resilience, adaptability, discipline, compassion,
Wow.
and like the power to connect with others. It's about so much more than just like physical prowess.
Okay, I'm ready to like wrap this up and leave our listener with like some final thoughts to ponder.
Okay?
What should they like take away from all of this? Okay, so we've gone through this whole list of strongest actors, and I feel like we found so much more than just like a ranking. It's really changed how I think about strength, you know?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool seeing how strength isn't just one thing. It's not just about muscles and stuff, but also the mental side, the emotional side, that willpower to get past tough stuff and reach your goals.
Yeah, totally. Like we talked about Jackie Chan and how he does all his own stunts. Like that's a kind of strength right there. And Lou Ferrigno, like his voice is just as powerful as his muscles. And then there's Denzel Washington who just like owns every scene he's in, even when he's not, doing a ton of action stuff.
And we can't forget those actors who totally changed their careers, like Merlin Olsen, from football to like Little House on the Prairie and all that, or Michael Clark Duncan in The Green Mile. His character was like tied up most of the time, but his performance was so strong and moving just from his like inner strength.
It's like this whole list is saying, hey, strengths can be all kinds of things. And sometimes it's the stuff you don't see right away that's the most powerful.
Absolutely. Like, think about all the actors we've talked about. What kind of strength really stuck with you? Was it their muscles, how much they worked at their acting, or maybe how they made you really feel something when you watched them?
That's a good question for all of us listening, right? Because we've all got strengths. Maybe some we don't even realize yet. Maybe you're creative or great at figuring things out, or maybe you're really good at understanding how other people feel or just making people laugh.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff can be just as powerful as any, like, physical strength. That's what helps us through tough times, helps us reach our goals and, do good in the world.
So if you only remember one thing from this whole deep dive, it's this. Don't forget how strong you are, no matter what your strength is. Gotta own it, make it stronger, and use it to make your mark on the world.
Because the world needs all kinds of strength, right? And who knows, maybe someday you'll be on a list like this, showing everyone what real strength means in your own way.
That's a great way to wrap things up. Thanks for diving deep with us into the world of strong actors. Catch you next time for another awesome exploration. All right.